This is going to be the first real I'm on vacation ride. And it's definitely a midweek I'm on vacation ride because there's only one other person coming along. Just so happens Vinny's on vacation too, so we're gonna hit the road for the day. Head north, head through the old Kouchibouguac Park. I know I haven't been through there yet this year. Not sure about Vinny. So that'll take us up through Bay St. Anne, on to probably Miramichi. Then from there we'll have to make some decisions if we want to keep trucking up towards Bathurst. I know we've talked about heading towards Bathurst 100 times just to go have lunch up there. Maybe today will be the day. This will be the first time using this as a meeting point. So yeah, thanks to him I got a fucking H2 stuck in my brain again. We were talking about flashing it and all that. He said, I don't know if I want to do that right away. I said, oh, I absolutely would not do that right away. I said, it's a Canadian Kawasaki, so you've been given a 1-year warranty, right? It ain't much, but use it. Like, don't go screwing it up before at least the year is up. Plus, you know, use the rest of this year, use next season to just get used to the bike, you know, and enjoy it as it is. And then by the end of next year, if you're thinking, geez, I'd like maybe a little more power out of this, well, it's gonna pull hard right to redline, there's no question. But the problem being, after about 8,000 RPM, if you say I want full throttle, the ECU says you're not getting it. It starts to back the throttle off. I think by the time it hits redline, the throttle is closed down to about 40%. After you get the flash, that's when you get the bike you paid for. Years ago, and what bikes used to cost years ago, right? The thought of a $17,000 bike is like, holy Christ, that's expensive. And then you start looking around though, and you're like, well, wait a minute now. Most leader bikes, a 1,000 sport bike these days, you're pretty much not going to get one for under 22 plus tax. You know, like brand new on the showroom floor, that's pretty well what they go for, which is insane. Like before, if you were spending over 10,000 on a bike, it better be a 1,000. You know what I mean? Now 10 grand isn't getting you a 600, or well, maybe if you catch the right deal on a 636. But now I guess when you start comparing it that way, where you know a sport bike is going to be north of 20, and then you look at that H2 SX and you're like, well, damn, maybe it is quite a bit of bike for 17. You know, they're all still too much fucking money, but. Yeah, I'll just let it go for now. No time for sightseeing. Holy fuck. That's what you need. A turn that's notorious for being full of dirt and a dog chasing you. I mean, after this many years, we figured out how to ride motorcycles, but now we like a little challenge. He'll start chasing the guy in the front, and that basically gets him out in the middle of the road ready for you. I hit a porcupine with my ZX-12 at about 160. It was on the highway at night. It was only like a few days after I bought the damn thing. No time to react. It was just there in my headlight all of a sudden, and you know, straighten up and get ready for it. I'm pretty sure it was a porcupine. It had to be. I mean, it was that color and it was that size. So I figured I was going to be covered in quills and the bike was going to be smashed up. And I got off the bike and there wasn't a mark on it. It's like, I'm guessing the front wheel hit it and the whole thing just jumped right over it after. The reason it happened is because I was leaving work and my co-worker was checking out the bike, you know, because it was the first time I brought it to work. And he says, I want to hear it. He said, I want to hear what it sounds like. He said, I'm going to get going on the highway. You give me a head start. And he said, just fucking rip by me. Okay. I got going. I passed him wide open, and just as I was starting to coast down to a normal speed, bang. Shadows hide a lot of crap. Just me, or am I feeling a lot of like bugs and shit hitting my hands? Strange. As long as they're not hitting me in the face. Yeah, look at the lift kit on that John Deere. Actually, you want to see something else that's funny? Look at this fucking purple Cavalier in front of us. And look at the dent on the trunk. Every single four-door Cavalier without a spoiler from this era has a fucking dent on that trunk. We used to own one, Tracy and I, and it had one there too, so we noticed it, right? We started noticing all the other cars that had it too. And I used to start calling it the factory dent, and every time we'd see one, we'd point it out. I'm like, oh, look, factory dent. I said, I bet you at the end of the assembly line, that's the last thing they do is close the trunk right before it rolls off for final inspection, eh? There's some fucking big ox working there, eh? And he just fucking slams it shut with his fist and puts a dent in it. There, good to go. Another one of these pieces of shit done. I laugh about it, but that was actually a very good car. If you just needed to get where you were going, they were pretty good. I mean, it was right before they went to like the Ecotec engines and that, and a whole bunch of problems started showing up. So I figure we'll jump on the highway here, go up a couple exits, and then we can stop at the Irving up there at the exit we need to take and take a little break. It was weird back then, eh? Every once in a while you'd see a turbo pop up in one of these cars, like my buddy had a turbo Sunbird, and you know, surprisingly it worked pretty well. Just a little bit of shade, eh? Well, it's kind of big, I guess. It's crazy. I remember coming up here, riding up this way like 15 years ago, and this road was the same way as it is right now, like every few feet a big hump in it. Even that SX though would do better through here, just the seating position of it. With sport bikes like this, it feels more like you're sitting on top of the bike, like you're up over top of it, whereas the SX, it kind of feels like it sits you in the bike a little bit more. It gives you a little bit more room to adjust yourself when you're going over bumps like that. And actually, the seating position is probably fairly similar to that VFR that I have at home. It's just that where the VFR lacks engine, the H2 certainly makes up for it. Plus, don't worry, at 6,800 RPM when that fucking VTEC hits. Realistically, when the VTEC kicks in, I think it just makes more noise, but... My buddy used to date a girl from Pointe-Sapin. I think we asked her like where she was from, and she said Pointe-Sapin. I said, where's that? He said, ah, it's fucking Wood Point. And then she said, it's up by Kouchibouguac. And then I looked at him and he's like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Don't know how to translate that one, eh? I'm guessing he must be hauling something fish related. Be a nice little drive in a truck, beats fucking hammering up and down the highway. Oh, he's got the towing mirror on. Moose for the next 12 kilometers, but after that there's none. Oh no, I'm just fucking cruising along here. We won't do it like Jake at fucking 200 today. That's one cool thing about this piece of road though. It's literally in the middle of the woods. Like if you want to drive fucking fast, there's a very little chance there's going to be, you know, somebody backing out of their driveway at you. They still leave a graveyard here for you though, just in case. Those little tunnels they put in underneath the road for the animals, it must work. Oh, really? Turtle underneath the road trying to cross, all of a sudden the fucking raccoon comes running past them. Get the fuck out of the way. Ooh, you white car. I know it's a Honda, but still. must be something wrong with this little Chevy. He's not doing 180. I don't know what it is, but I don't trust it. Never trust anyone in a van. The only people driving white vans are kidnappers and contractors. You can't trust either one. Whenever you start feeling tires slipping there, it's... Unless you meant it. If it's something you wanted to happen, it's good, but... I think that sign in the back, I think, says this vehicle's speed is monitored by UPS, maybe? And it looks like he's got boxes in the back. I wonder if, like, they hire people to do their deliveries up here. Realistically, there was nothing unsafe about how I passed him, but I'm sure he's freaking out. What do we got here? Ah, okay. I guess he was heading the same direction as us. Excuse me. Oh, I guess he's a four-wheeler. Well, if you're going to meet a car, at least you only meet it near the end. So once we get to the end up here, which way you want to go? Just head left, or you want to go up to the wharf? Or I suppose we should probably keep moving. If we do decide to go any further, it'd be best to keep running and not just go sit at the wharf all day. Oh, that's not sneaky at all. Totally blacked out. Biggest man-made bridge in Miramichi. They're heavy to begin with, and those things have been spending a lot of years absorbing water. A little bit hotter in the big city.
Yeah.
That was always the area of Bathurst I didn't know my way around real great, because I never had a reason to be in there.
Yeah.
We're good to go. And come really close to hurting themselves while calling it exercise. You take heart attacks until you get in better shape. Oh, that's where that is? It's funny because I knew there was a campus up here. I had no idea where it was. Fuck, this camping spot looks so... The camping spot here and that doctor spot both look familiar. God knows, maybe I was down here at one time. Just don't remember nothing. I was sleeping and I missed my chance to get around them. Well, so that was the Bathurst trip. We finally did it. I don't think this was on purpose. Everybody's standing around going, yeah, she's fucked all right. At least it's something for them to do. All the cops can go check that out and leave everybody else alone. Jeez, that's the longest stretch of highway I've done in a long time. My ass is telling me that too. I think there's a couple turns on this road there. Maybe it'll stretch us out a little bit. Holy fuck. I'll just have to trust that the road is still in front of me. I told Tracy that before. I said, here's a navigational tip for you. The sun rises in the east and it sets in whatever direction I'm going. She's no Kouchibouguac, but it's a nice little road. Gotta pretty well trust the sign that the road turns. Temperature must be dropping a little bit by now, eh? Oh fuck, still warmer than I thought it would be. I imagine you'll be going straight here. Oh, I'm just heading home from here, up the highway. Oh, look at that. There's a good place to meet the cops. Once we're all done. Yeah, cut through town and get you home quicker. Alright, until the next one. Yeah, see you later. And that's the end of that one. Oof, that was a long one. I think by Vinny's count we are well over 500 kilometers. So I guess if you stuck around this long, head down below there and feed the YouTube machine. Click some buttons, make it happy. I'm gonna head home, rest my aching ass. You can come back and check out the next one.